Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Arlington Weekly News. I'm Craig Nolan. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Daniel Pineda.
My name's Adele Quo.
And here we go with another show somewhere around, 18 October or something like that, 2012. We're into the Burr months. Thanksgiving and Halloween not far away. Here we go. We have News and Community Bulletin Board as usual, and Adele is here with
It's Easy Being Green.
Yes, it is. CBB. Rich and his reviews, news for seniors, and then Miriam Gennari and her guest this evening. She's doing an interview and talking about the David Brown Planetarium right here in Arlington.
That's our show. A great interview about saving the planetarium.
They did it. Great job.
They
okay,
did.
Before we start our news items, though, my partner here has a reminder for
Well, that's right, Craig. Arlington Weekly News is available at www.youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News and the number 1. And also on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Arlington Weekly News. So please visit us on our social networking sites, YouTube, and yes, even Facebook.
All right, thanks, Daniel. And the first of our news items now. Arlington County Police are investigating a suspicious death in the area. The body of an elderly man was discovered at 10:17 a.m. on the 13th of October. He was found inside his home in the 3700 block of North Wakefield Street. The man has been identified as 87-year-old Mac L. Wood of Arlington. The investigation is continuing. Daniel.
Well, despite statements to the contrary by each of the 3 candidates for Arlington County Board, the Columbia Pike Revitalization Organization, or CPRO, says a modern streetcar system is a better option for Columbia Pike than a bus rapid transit or BRT system. Meanwhile, incumbent Democratic County Board candidate Libby Garvey is supporting the BRT system. This summer, Arlington County Transit Advisory Committee narrowly defeated a resolution supporting articulated bus services as an alternative to the streetcar for Columbia Pike.
All right, in other news items, Arlington could soon be served by a fleet of 40 all-electric cabs equipped with 4G Wi-Fi hotspots and iPads for passenger use. iPads, that's what they say. As part of this year's taxicab certificate allocation process, County Manager Barbara Donnellan is recommending to Arlington County Board that a total of 65 additional taxis be added to the county's existing fleet of about 765 licensed cabs. If the recommendation is approved, EV taxicabs, an Arlington-based business, would be one of many companies to benefit. We'll keep you posted on that one. Daniel.
Resignations, emergency votes, accusations, freedom of information requests, and email wars are all characterized a fight brewing over a proposal to build one bocce ball court in the Bluemont neighborhood. The Bluemont Civic Association's president and his supporters are battling a group of Civic Association members critical of his leadership and his bocce court proposal. According to one resident, the main problem is the attempt to force throughout the bocce court decision without taking into account objections from residents. We will keep you up to date on this final decision. Craig.
Also, a few weeks ago, we reported that voting for the Abby's Awards was open. And now that the nominees have been made public, you can vote for the winner. The Abbeys recognize Arlington's best businesses in 17 different categories. Voting ends on the 9th of November. The winners will be announced at the County Board meeting on November 27th. You can visit their website at shoparlington.org/Abbeys for the entire list of the nominees and more information. Vote for the Abbeys. Sounds like a fun thing to do. Okay, we'll be back with our CBB Community Bulletin Board file right after we hear from Adele and
It's Easy Being Green. Adele, how are you?
Here's
I'm
Adele.
great. How are you guys
Hi,
today?
Adele.
Fantastic. It is Easy Being Green, sipping sustainable wine. Do you prefer red, white
Red.
or green wine?
Red,
What's the
green.
buzz about sustainable wine, and what's really behind all this eco-talk? To one producer, it means organic grapes, and to another, it means water conservation. Like any industrial process, winemaking is incredibly water intensive. How much water is used on average at a winery? About 7 gallons of water for a gallon of wine. And
Wow.
that doesn't include irrigation water. Wineries and vineyards must use water for irrigation, to clean their barrels, tanks, and floors. The sheer scale of potential water savings from implementing water-saving techniques makes it worth watching. How can a winery conserve water? Water conservation happens in many forms for wineries, and how they conserve and recycle water can make them unique. Here's some brief water savings practiced by sustainable wineries in the U.S. First, minimize water use by using drip irrigation to meter out a limited amount of water to each vine. Delay the start of irrigation until the vines show signs, ooh, that's tricky, that they are using up the rainwater stored in the soil during the rainy months. Measure and monitor the water usage by the vines. Use green chemistry and technology. The maker of Kendall Jackson wines has been testing a year-long pilot program that could help the California wine industry save 1 billion gallons of water a year if just 35% of the California wineries took up the processes. Jackson Family Wines investigated the water filtering process, which will be applied to water used for rinsing wine barrels and tanks along with other uses, and which will have multiple benefits. Taken together, the processes represent about 70% of a winery's water use. Capture rainwater on site, slow it down, and infiltrate it back into the ground, or capture the stormwater to reuse and recycle. So water-wise wineries can install green roofs, rain barrels or cisterns, rain gardens, and permeable hardscapes. Black Ankle Winery in Mount Airy, Maryland is leading the way locally in the green wine revolution. When it came time to design their tasting room building, the owners put up in 3 living green roofs planted with extremely hardy and drought-tolerant sedums that don't need irrigation, yet capture and use rainwater. In turn, the green roofs not only completely block out the summer heat, but as the plants respire, they actually cool the building while providing excellent insulation in winter. Also, rain barrels collect the rainwater to water their landscaping, which is comprised almost exclusively of native plants which need no supplemental irrigation. So let's drink a toast with green wine to water conservation in the green wine industry, and next time we'll look at energy efficiency practices embraced by sustainable wineries. Remember, it's easy being green, sipping sustainable wine.
It's easy being green.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Great job. Thanks, Adele.
Thank
and
you.
I'm interested in finding out more about red green wine or green wine.
Green-red wine.
Red-green wine.
A combination,
Green-red
right?
wine.
We'll have to try it.
Sign me up for that
Do
taste
some
test.
research.
There is
I'm
still
ready.
some.
Okay, moving right along now in this edition of the Arlington Weekly News. Here we go with our CBB, Community Bulletin Board file. The new USO Warrior and Family Center located at 9th and Belvoir Road is opening in January of 2013. To get it going, the USO of Metropolitan Washington needs a few good men and women to help run the center. Over 350 volunteers are needed between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m., including holidays, to provide information, assistance, and support for the activities at the new center. For more information, give them a call, 703-696-0958, or visit their website, www.usmetro.org, for more details and information. All right, Daniel.
Well, the Opera Guild of Northern Virginia needs people to coordinate school day performances of children's opera. Volunteers would help prepare and edit school study guides for young children. For more information, call 703-536-7557.
And here's an event you might want to take notes on. The Opera Guild also needs a volunteer event photographer. You can get to know the stars and followers and interact with media people. The photos will be used to make a PowerPoint presentation for the Opera Guild. Applicants should have a good quality digital camera and know how to transfer the photos to a PC. familiarity, not easy for you to say, easy for you to say, with PowerPoint would also be helpful. For more information, 703-536-7557. Give them a call and they'll tell you more about it. And Daniel and I will be back with our News for Seniors segment right after we hear from our man about town for theater, the arts, and a whole lot more. Mr.
Thank you,
Rich
boys.
Somney,
Thank
25
you,
years.
Take
That's
it, Rich.
right. Thank you, boys. The Virginia Opera performed George Bizet's The Pearl Fishers last weekend at George Mason University Center for the Arts. This was the opening of the 2012-13 season. The story is simple yet tragic of two pearl fishermen in ancient Ceylon. They had met a girl early on in the careers of both these guys. They had a brotherly love for each other, and that was the end of the girl. And next thing you know, she pops up, and these guys see her and whatever, and they, picked up again. It was a nice story. It ended as it always generally does in the opera, a little tragic, but anyway, it was great. The girl is Layla, and she's played by Heather Buck. She's a star, very intriguing lady. Anyway, there's a large cast of backup singers and the whole deal, and it was done in French. Ann Manson conducted the Virginia Opera and did a heck of a nice job. If you want any information about any of these operas or anything else, call the Center for the Arts at 703-993-2787 or check the website, cfa.gmu.edu. And the next one is Der Fledermaus, and that's in November 30 and December 2. The Metropolitan Opera is, I'm on opera here, the Metropolitan Opera chose Le Cire d'Amour to open its simulcast season Saturday at the Boston Regal 12 Theaters in the Boston Mall. This opera is a favorite because it's a romantic comedy. You don't get too many of those in the operas, right? It stars a beautiful and very popular Anna Netrebko as Adina, a wealthy farm owner. It's set in the Basque country in 1830. A villager named Nemarino, played by Matthew Polizani, falls in love with this girl. But she's also being pursued by a sergeant in the army, an important guy, Sergeant Belcourt, played by Marisa Quitchen. And adding to the mix is a Dr. Dulcamara, played by Ambrogio Maestri, and his special love potion. Make you feel, yeah. Anyway, no one plays the love potion, doesn't have enough.
You had some of that earlier.
That's true. It keeps me going. In order to get money, this poor guy in the Marino joins the army, but just to make some money, they would give him up front. Anyway, the girl, Adina, is crazy about him, and she managed to get and tear up the paperwork that he signed to go into the army. Anyway, it's very nice. For any information about the Regal Theaters, you can call 703-525-4102. The next opera is October 27th, Othello. Now, how could you go wrong with an Agatha Christie classic, And Then There Were None? Directed by Roland Gomez. That's what's going on currently at the Aldersgate Church Community Theater, ACCT, located near Mount Vernon, over at 1301 Collingwood Road. Off an island of Devon, England in the 1940s, there were 11 people invited to this island home for a party, and but the host, they don't know who it is. This is a wonderful ensemble cast. I wish I could tell you everybody in it, but each character is knocked off during this thing in a living room setting, and they come, and that's where you get, And Then There Were None. There were like little statues up there, and then one by one, less statues, and somebody was dead all the time. It plays through the weekend of October 24. For tickets information, call 703-660-2611, and check the web at www.actonline.org. Yeah, they're a good thing. Now, Theater J on 16th Street in the District has, sort of an unpleasant show. It's about the Jews and during World War II and all. But what's different about this is, and supposed to be the truth thing, I didn't know about this, but in this place of town in Poland, some of the Polish Christians killed and did awful things to the Jews there. It wasn't the Nazis doing it. It was Polish Christians in Poland killing these Jews there. So it was quite a show to see. It's what is it called? Right, that's the thing. It's called well, what do you know that? I don't even know what we call it.
Is it on the screen?
Our class. Right.
It's on the screen.
It's on the screen. I can't read the screen. Our class. I don't know where the name came from, but it's supposed to be a regular story about the Polish historians say it's true, and well, you don't think of Poles killing the Jews. It was you think just the Nazis. Well, of course they did, and it was horrible. But anyway, it's going to be there for a bit, and it's at the Theater J. And the phone number there, they've got an information number 202-777-3230, and you can get tickets at 800-494. Excuse me, 494-TIXS, TIXS. It's a powerful thing, the show. So you know, this is not a ha-ha show. It's Our Class, Theater J on 16th Street. And finally, if you have a longing for an authentic British pub with great food and draft beers, then Union Jack's British Pub in the Ballston Common Mall is the place for you. There's a wonderful selection of opening snacks, including sliders, wings, nachos, dips, and more, and soups and salads. I had a wonderful lobster bisque there. It was one of the best I've had in a long time. And then I had a salad with a champagne vinaigrette.
Oh, I like lobster bisque. That's good stuff.
Yeah. One of my favorite fun entrees is the fish and chips. I mean, just wonderful. Squeeze a little lemon on that stuff and put it in the tartar sauce. Or sprinkle some of the vinegar on it. Anyway, there are traditional dishes such as bangers and mash and chicken curry and iron skillet cottage pie. And for dessert, you got to try the strawberry shortcake, or if you like bread pudding. You like bread pudding?
I like strawberry shortcake.
Okay, it's good.
And bed pudding.
Okay, have them both. In addition to the beers, they've got a full cocktail menu. Adding to the overall pleasant experience, though, I just wanted to give a plug to a couple of people there. There was a young lady manager, Kim Hedden, and there was a wait staffer named Jen Erlinger. I give them a little plug there. Call Union Jack's British Pub at 703-778-3568, or check the website. It's www.rockbottom.com. Well, thank you, folks. That's for me this week, and we'll talk to you next week. How's that?
All right.
Thank you, Rich. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Great stuff, yeah.
Thanks, Rich. We appreciate it.
Thank you, baby.
Okay, as promised, now on this next up on this edition of the Arlington Weekly News is our News for Seniors segment. And here we go. Legal Services of Northern Virginia will be providing free FREE, free legal counsel to seniors on Tuesday, October 30, from 10 in the morning to noon at Walter Reed Senior Center. All communications and personal information will be held in strictest confidence. For more information about this free program and to make an appointment, give them a call, 703-228-0955. Daniel.
Yes, well, the Jane Franklin Dance Company, headquartered in Arlington, Virginia, has a 40-plus dance team. They specialize in entertaining at senior residences and senior centers and special events. 40 Plus will perform on Tuesday, that's October the 30th at 12:15 p.m. at the Lee Senior Center. The performance is free and open to the public. For more information, call 703-228-0555. Craig.
All right, and here's something for you storytellers, or for those of you who like to hear stories told. Storyteller Bill Cleary, a member of the National Storytelling Network and Virginia's Storytelling Alliance, who knew, will tell some of his favorite tall tales. That's coming up on Thursday, 1 November at 10:30 in the morning at Walter Reed Senior Center. This is a free program for seniors. More information, 703-228-0955. Give them a call. Daniel.
There are three foreign language conversation groups, including Spanish, German, and yes, French, at the Langston Brown Senior Center. The Spanish group meets every Tuesday at 1 p.m. The French group meets Wednesdays at 1 p.m. and the German group meets on Fridays at 10 a.m. For more information and to register, call 703-228-6300. Three languages that seniors can learn.
Absolutely. Always good to learn a language.
Yep.
Something other than English. All right. And finally, art director Joan Hart will present an illustrated lecture on the genius of Frank Lloyd Wright. She'll highlight his works in Northern Virginia and Maryland. The presentation will be held Monday, November 5 at 1 in the afternoon at Aurora Hills Senior Center. In addition to those in Northern Virginia and Maryland, Ms. Hart will talk about some of Frank Lloyd Wright's masterpieces in the Mid-Atlantic area. The cost to register is $6. Can't beat it. For more information and to register for this look at the works of Frank Lloyd Wright, give them a call, 703-228-5722. And as always, thanks to Judy Masabny of the Office of Senior Adult Programs for helping us out and sending us these announcements.
Her hard work and dedication
Thanks,
really
Judy.
do pay off every single week.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Judy.
Okay. As promised, now up next on this edition of the Arlington Weekly News, our interviewer Miriam Gennari and her guest. Here's Miriam.
And now here's some wonderful news about Arlington's David M. Brown Planetarium. After being closed almost 2 years, it's finally reopened. The planetarium opened in Arlington a few months after the United States put a man on the moon 40 years ago. In 2008, Arlington's planetarium was named for Captain David M. Brown, an Arlington native and a graduate of Arlington Public Schools. Captain Brown was on the crew of the Space Shuttle Columbia when it disintegrated on February 1st, 2003 upon re-entry. In 2010, Arlington School Board voted to close the planetarium due to a need for new dome, projector, and seating. Dr. Alice Monet felt the planetarium offered Arlingtonians and its students much more than could be measured in dollars. She led a drive to form the Friends of the Arlington's Planetarium. The Friends of the Planetarium raised enough funds to pay for a large portion of the renovation costs and keep the planetarium open. Thanks to all those who participated and for those who missed the ribbon cutting, we bring you this.
After more than 2 years of fundraising efforts and major renovations, Arlington's David M. Brown Planetarium celebrated its grand reopening. A full weekend of events was kicked off by the official ribbon-cutting ceremony on Friday, September 28th.
And I am very, very proud and very, very excited about our ribbon-cutting ceremony this morning. This is a great culmination of a tremendous amount of work that has gone on over the last several years.
The completed improvements to the planetarium reflect a true partnership between Friends of the Planetarium, the community, donors, supporters, Congress people, and the Arlington Public Schools, and of course the staff who has done the work and has pushed this project forward. Thank you for bringing us this new state-of-the-art planetarium to our students and community.
By next year, we hope to have in place a comprehensive offering of programs for all K-12 students. Public programs will begin immediately, though, on October 12th. So everyone here could definitely participate in that.
You know, Arlingtonians should be very proud of the person that this was named after. He went to McKinley Elementary, Swanson Middle, Yorktown High School. He was a Navy aviator who could land on the deck of a carrier in the middle of the night. But he was also a flight surgeon and a NASA astronaut. and he perished with the rest of his crew when the Space Shuttle Columbia disintegrated upon re-entry back in 2003.
And for those of us who were privileged to know and work with him, he's fondly remembered. But I believe I can speak for Dave's NASA and Navy colleagues that this planetarium, near where he grew up and was educated, is probably the most fitting memorial for him, in that for now and for decades to come, he'll continue to inspire that next generation of explorers.
Today, we celebrate an amazing achievement when all these individuals and our entire community faced down a challenge and achieved a worthy goal, not only saving this gem of science and education from destruction, but making it better than ever. Well done, Arlington. On this day, we are all friends of science education, friends of inspiration, friends of the David M. Brown Planetarium. Thank you, friends.
May it be filled with children and laughter and learning for many decades to come. Dave would have wanted it that way.
The planetarium is opened, but the fundraising effort goes on. For more information on shows and fundraising, go to www.friendsoftheplanetarium.org. This Saturday, October 20th, there will be a premiere for the first of the digital programs. This one is called STARS, the Powerhouses of the Universe. Doors open at 7:15 and the show begins at 7:30. Admission is $3 for children, Friends members, and seniors, and $5 for adults. A few remarks will be made prior to the screening about the premiere of this full dome show and how supporters and donations have made this possible.
And thanks, Miriam, and the good people from the David Brown Planetarium.
An incredible story.
Get down to the
Save
planetarium. Yep, great, and they did it.
They did it, yes, absolutely.
Kudos, way to go, planetarium people. Stop in and check out the planetarium and see one of their shows. It's a beautiful place. Okay, that's about a wrap for this edition of the Arlington Weekly News this week. Anything else, gentlemen, before we go?
Yes, I just want to wish my dad a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Should we
birthday.
sing to him? Happy birthday to you.
You can sing if you want.
Okay, well, that's about the extent of it.
Cheerio, people.
That's
Yep.
it.
Visit us
We
on
got to
YouTube.
go. Thanks for watching. Have a safe week. We'll see you next week. You be there. We'll be here. Take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Cheerio.
What was that?